The NFL is the only major North American sports league whose season is not currently on hold due to the COVID-19 pandemic, yet the league is doing its part to help, as it has partnered with the NFL Players Coalition to provide emergency relief in African American communities throughout the U.S. Joining us on BNC from his home in Arizona to discuss the help the Players Coalition is providing communities of color during this pandemic, one of its founding members, veteran NFL offensive lineman Kelvin Beachum. Kelvin, thanks for your time and for what you all are doing. Now, you've partnered with the league to commit $3 million in grants to fund health systems, hospitals, grassroots organizations in various cities and states. Is this exactly the type of work you and your brothers in the league had in mind when you established the Players Coalition?
You know, the thing is the concept that we had in mind was to find a way to bring awareness to the inequities in our country, but find ways to provide solutions.
All right, just so our viewers understand, this is a massive commitment in the following places: Atlanta, Baltimore, Chicago, Detroit, D.C., and the states of Louisiana and Florida. Kelvin, take us through the process of how you all were able to identify those communities in particular.
You know, the thing is we have players that have played in some of these markets all across the league at different points in their career. So we really leaned on some of the players that are in those markets: Florida, Baltimore, Atlanta, what have you. That have played in those particular markets, know those particular markets, know the people who do the work in those particular markets. And we gathered all those things together, worked with the partners that we currently have, and subject matter experts within Players Coalition, and then identified some of those places. And then, again, talk to the people who are on the ground, who are with these folks day in and day out, who know the actual pain points for people who look like myself and some of the other members within the Players Coalition. And actually, again, came to a solution and knew that we had these funds and, again, wanted to find a way to leverage those things.
Now, nearly 70% of the league's players are black. With that in mind, how crucial is it for the Players Coalition in general and for you individually to assist our communities so that the people you help get to see the men behind the face masks?
You know, the thing is some of these communities are our communities. Not everybody came from some of the best parts in the country. We came from the ghetto. We came from the hood. We came from very rural parts of America, and I was one of those kids and one of the players in the National Football League who came from a very rural environment. These are our communities. These are where we came from. And you talk about that statistic of our league being 70% African American. These are our people. This is us. These are our families. My family, I have cousins, friends, people in my network that are in these very communities. So for us to actually do something about it, again, I hate to belabor the point, but these are people who are being affected in the most vulnerable communities, in some of the most vulnerable areas and hotspots that this virus is affected right now. And for us to have a solution, we needed to act on it and act on it immediately.
Now, for those watching, Kelvin, not just a massive human being at 6'3" and over 300 pounds, he also has a massive resume, a bachelor's degree in economics from SMU, a master's in organizational dynamics. Kelvin, you're nearly a decade into your football career. When did you realize you wanted to give as much off the field as you do on it?
You know, the thing is, I've been doing this for a long time. This happened even before I got to the National Football League. I was doing this in college, was doing this in high school at a much smaller scale. But as the assets have grown, as the platform has grown, as the reach has grown, I just found different ways to be able to give back in a very innovative way. So this is not something that just started when I got to the National Football League. This is not something that's going to stop when I'm done playing in the National Football League. These are things that I'm going to be doing well after I'm done.
I have to ask you this too. How much of a positive effect does that have, not just on your family and on your friends, but also your teammates, the players in the locker room, some of the younger guys who might not be as much into the process of giving, the thought process of giving back and philanthropy? How much does that help for those younger guys to see what you all do?
You know, for one, I think it's inspiring. I think it's motivating. And then I think it gives young players a reference point. And for me, I had reference points when I first got into the National Football League. I had guys like Max Starks, guys like Willie Colon. I had Marquise Pouncey, who were older guys than me who led the way and showed me how to be able to give and to be able to use this particular platform. So I think, for me now being a much older player, and somewhat being, somewhat of a dinosaur in the National Football League now, it's being able to be that reference point for so many young players across the NFL, and finding ways to use this opportunity to show them the way, to inspire them. And then also to take them by the hand, and we go and do something together, whether it's something that I'm doing or teaming up with something that they're doing, and we're finding a way to do it together and do it in collaboration.
Yeah, and Kelvin started his career with the Pittsburgh Steelers, has also played for the Jaguars and Jets. The Players Coalition not just aiding in this cause, its men also travel around the country to juvenile detention centers and courts in attempts to inspire young people. NFL offensive lineman Kelvin Beachum, we appreciate the work you and the Players Coalition are doing in partnership with the league. Thanks for your time. You and your family stay safe, and thanks for joining us on the Black News Channel. You are always welcome back at any time.
Yes, sir. Thanks so much.